Aloha, my beautiful friends. My name is Crystal Ra Laksmi and I'm coming to you from beautiful San Diego again. I call myself abundance anthropologist because I believe each one of us, we have a hidden treasure box inside of us. And once we open this up, we activate our holistic abundance, which helps us to start to manifest our inner fairy tales into this reality, into our dreams and lives on our terms. Welcome to today's Facebook Live, and this will be a very exciting one because I will share some of the highlights from HPX live event with Brendan Burchard, and in the end I will also do a little question and answers segment. So welcome to this beautiful time and space. So soon it's going to be already many years since I started to actually follow Brendan Burchard. I remember one of the first books actually was, I'm just trying to see if I have it here nearby, but not, is actually Charge, which I was ordering online, and because I was kind of moving from one place to another so many times, it oftentimes didn't get to the point where I was, so I didn't get that book. But later years, of course, I got it and worked through it as many of the other books as well. And during this event, I actually figured and also bought Brendan's first book, which is all about, students and leadership and so on. And what was really amazing with this one was in the book he has some questions about leadership as such as well. And it made me also think, what is leadership for me, or who is a leader for me? Which actually I wrote those answers down, and they were very different from Brendan's, but that's what it is for me. So one of the things what came up for me was that in order to be a leader or, part of the leadership team, you really need to figure out, how to take responsibility for yourself and also for your choices you are making, and then get on board also people who are doing those choices and being responsible, and if possible also conscious. So from there, basically everything else is possible. And I so agree that he also said, it's so, connected to the individual. So how individuals communicate, how they interact, and from there we can, build beautiful leadership. So, and once again, I was so amazed how beautifully, how professionally, how deep and wide was this event organized by Brendan Burchard and his team, and it just really touches me each time more and more. So I see someone is already here. Piret is here. Aloha, thank you so much. Very nice to have you here. So if you get here later, also please let me know with a little aloha. So to get into the room with 2,500 other people who basically will be step by step within those 3 days, really be turned on. So there is nothing else you can do than also be turned on, energy wise, meeting people. You can just approach anyone saying aloha, where you from, why you here, what has been your highlight, and there is no issue to talk about those things. You can go, cut through the chit chat and kind of cut through straight to the deep stuff and important stuff. So many amazing people to connect and also work with, and continue to grow together. So what an amazing container for people to come together, also to do a little self-reflection, and then also look a little wider and change things in their lives. So, and I was also extra, happy and lucky because I was there with my husband, Michael, so we could go through the whole experience together and then share, what came up for you, what came up for me, and during the lunch breaks, we oftentimes were actually going through some new ideas or how we could do things differently and so on. And because now we have been going to Brendan's live events since like 2018 October, it's actually become like part of our lifestyle and one of the teachers we really follow and honor. And I realized just the other day that there is so much maturity in way, Brendan is doing those things that now when I start to look at other people or how they do things, of course, I start to compare as a human, but also I see, how many of those events, Brendan said the event we had was the 90th of, live events he has ever done. So it has been lots of fine-tuning happening to make it better and better and better. So we were so lucky also that he came to San Diego. So for us it was like 20 minutes ride down the road, and there he was, so very, very amazing. So today I wanted to share some of the major highlights from that event, and I'm still processing and I'm still recovering. It's a lot of energy first to process also as a new time energy person. Many of you maybe don't know, if you are in a new energy and you go into a room full of people who maybe are not in that energy system yet, your energy starts to actually also to upgrade them. So 2,500 people, I don't know how many of them were in the new energy. I think there were also quite many young people there, but still, it's a lot of stuff going, on. And then, of course, this is also one of the things as a new time energy healer or coach, you have to be aware, how to take care of yourself and what are those like minimum necessities to do and have so that you don't collapse, because the days were very long. The first day we basically left home 5 o'clock and got back like around 9. So the other days it started around 9 and finished around 7 or 8. So very, very long days, very packed filled, content and meetings and so much going on. So it takes some time to recover. Like Brendan says that it's like kind of, running a marathon, leading it. And that actually brought me to the point where I never thought about those things like that. And I have led many, retreats, also adventure retreats. My adventure retreats used to be in Hawaii for like 14 days. And then I cut them to, I even tried a 21-day one. It's just crazy to think even. And then I cut it to 10 days. And this time it will be probably be the last time 10 days like this setup. So it's like basically like a spiritual Ironman. You are 10 days, I'm with the people and guiding them and in their energy field for 13 to 14 hours sometimes. So you can imagine, and then to process and hold space for them, especially in Hawaii, to open up and all of those processes going on and hold space for them and guide them in that, it's so massive, So realizing that I have done those marathons as well, I've never counted my live events, but within those 20 years, I think I've had, hundreds, if not already close to thousands, because I had a time in the beginning of my business in Estonia where I had 2 or 3 tours per year in Estonia, going to different towns and doing talks and movie screenings, showing my documentary and meetings and so on. So it's a lot of experience I've actually gained from those things. And one of the things which came to me when Brendan was talking about are you a role model, and who are you role model to, or who would you like to be a role model to? So I never really considered myself as a role model. For me, this is something so huge, like only Brendan or Tony Robbins or Oprah Winfrey could kind of get to. But then, looking back is like, I have lived a really, brave life and done choices most people don't do. So, and things have turned out really great. So, yeah, I can be a role model. I am a role model. So to really own that, like, that was like, it took me like several days. I wrote it also in one of my Facebook posts, but it's really like, I realized like how I have packed myself to be this like little crystal, with things like that. And another one which really hit me was actually to realize that, Brendan talks about, high performance, coaches and high performance, in life, and business owners and entrepreneurs and so on. And I so oftentimes also thought I wouldn't go under that category, because for me, high performance was only like a pro athlete. And then I started to think back, like, wait a minute, like, I actually was studying in Norway, and I was actually running my business and then studying full time, being the student board representative, being a volunteer, running those volunteer groups as well, and then studying full time as well. Like, that's, really high performance. I had to figure out, plus, full training and all of those things to take care of myself. So all these things, and then later, going to live in Tromsø, Northern Norway, and then studying there and finishing up with 2 documentaries as well. So these are things which, like, most people haven't done that way or haven't shown discipline that way. So, and I also, when he was talking about discipline, I didn't even think I never really considered myself very disciplined person. But if you think back and kind of look at what I have accomplished and what I have done and what things have really come out of many things, you couldn't have done those things without discipline, like 5 years of university studies, it's not possible without discipline, or, having your businesses in different countries, Norway, Estonia, Mexico, and United States, there has to be discipline, there has to be structure. And getting to that, I also understood that having had my own businesses for so many years, I have been really bad with delegating and asking help. And this is also what has kept me maybe smaller and has not allowed me to scale on a bigger way, because when I started to do kind of grow my team in Estonia in the beginning, I got so burned, like 3 or 4 or 5 times, so bad, people running off with my money, people running off with my client database, people stabbing me on my back, people doing all kinds of crazy things who I really trusted, took care of them and did so many good things for them. I just couldn't believe. I don't know, maybe it's just the Estonian thing, but I just gave up. One point is like, okay, I'm just doing it my own, and I'll find just a couple of people who I know I can trust. And one of the people I always had is an accountant in my business who have kept, all those things in order. And then the other people I've brought in time to time as like independent contractors or whatever has been needed, volunteers and such. So, but Brendan also said, the key factor to his success is actually that he has been able to ask for help. And this is one of the things also I am not very good at. So yesterday I shared my little story about the Facebook live download, which I had trouble to figure out for the last week. And it almost like paralyzed many of the things I couldn't really like continue to work on. So I basically kind of gave up for some days, and then I came back and it's like, I have to figure this out. And I asked help, I did some research, and finally I found a way. And it is like, we are not here to be alone. We are here also to, ask for help, and we are here to help each other and contribute to each other. And this is the beauty of the human nature, just waiting to go into the door to the event hall at Brendan's event, you know, we always stopped and talked to people and their stories, and it was just mind-blowing what people are doing and coming up with and how they are using their talents. And then, you know, saying, oh, you are a business coach, I would need an outsider perspective, like can we have a meeting, you know, later? Yeah, no problem. Or there was this one guy who was about to leave and was asking, like, can you just send me the notes of the 2, you know, last hours, so I can like catch up with that, and, you know, helping each other, whatever that is. Or just walking in and seeing that Michael and my picture popped up on the screen, and my phone was inside, and I knew that going in and getting my phone and getting back and taking the picture would take too much time. So I saw this beautiful lady there, and I said, excuse me, would you do me a favor and take a picture, and then I'll just give you my Instagram or Facebook, and this way we can also connect, and then you can send it to me. And we did it. So I asked for help, and that was a little thing, but I also got a new friend. So how amazing. So she started to tell me she's working with women's empowerment and how things are and so on. And as kind of like a feedback to that, I recently also became a member of a new Facebook group, and there is a lady who is actually setting together, you know, different interviews with different people. And as yesterday I was showing, like opening up my Facebook, I got the message from her, would you be so kind, and I would like to interview you. So this is like, you know, the universe is also showing that it starts to go like, you know, both ways. Really, really amazing. So I see also Ive is here. Aloha. So if you have questions for me, according to what I've been going through during the last weeks, or what I'm talking about today, please let me know. I have a couple of more points, and then I have some questions which I was thinking to answer, which have been coming through different channels. So okay, so one very important thing which also Brendan touched was actually the importance of recovery. I realized this last Monday that I haven't had like a computer-free day for years probably. So I basically took a conscious effort, closed down my computer on Sunday evening, and didn't open it the whole day, and took complete day off from work or whatever, was just reading, having fun. Some of you maybe saw the video of flying the kite, you know, taking care of my inner child and just having the blast. And what the difference that made, that recovery day, especially because it was a Monday, you know, to start again with everything with my work on Tuesday, you know. It's so important. And coming from Estonia, where we are like workhorses, you know, work, work, work all the time, it's so important to, you know, have those days off, or, you know, take that extra recovery time. So because if we don't, we just burn out, and that will not be good for you or anyone who is around you, you know. So one of the thing also which I realized when Brendan was talking about the business stuff, he had actually a whole section about, you know, how to scale your business and so on. And I realized that because I have not chosen the needle mover maker kind of, you know, activities, I've been too much of the time, you know, using for busy work, you know, admin work and all of those other things. I've not actually got to the essential stuff, like my books, you know. I have a book manuscript in English which has been waiting in a drawer. Actually, I started one in 2013, you know, and one which, several which have actually started in Estonian since 2007. They are still in a drawer, and they should get out there and help so many people and open so many doors and serve me. But because of all this busy work, I've not really, you know, considered it that important, and always put it to the back burner, so to say. And this is going to change now. So this year I will definitely change that and put my focus and figure out also schedule differently. Very, very important. So also one of the things which came up was, you know, the importance of our environment. So whether it's people or places or countries or where we are, and how this actually, you know, influences us. So recently also I noticed that I started to watch some series which had lots of, you know, it was very kind of interesting and like kind of deep, but it had lots of like action and, you know, killing and all of that. And I started to notice that my dreams turned into like these nightmares of always war and fighting and so on. So it starts to move into your subconscious and then actually start to process it, and it will influence you. So to be more, you know, careful, what do I watch and what do I take in through my eyes or ears, or who am I sitting next to, who am I spending my time with, all of those things are like so crucial. So I'm also going to be much more like kind of to the point with that. So also even go through my Facebook friends list and do a little kind of clearing and cleansing there. And also really, you know, say no to people who don't actually support you or your dreams. So that takes a lot of courage, but it's very important, you know. So let's see, there is some more. Okay, so I'll take one more thing from here, and then the rest I will leave for the people who will sign up for the 12-week program with me whenever they do that. So kind of a little more cream for them as well. So when you have hate and you go bed with hate, then your next day is already killed. So that's like a really crucial thing, you know, whether it's hate or anger or something negative, and you just can't get it out of your system. It's really bad. So it's really good to work with your mindset and change these things, and you know, start to create more consciously with presence, you know, being where you are, and, you know, also figuring out why you are there. And one of the things which Brendan all the time reminds us is that we are not here for us. We are here for others. Like right now, you know, if you're watching this, I would be really interested to know what's the struggle in your life, you know, what's your issues, where are you stuck, you know, how can I help and contribute, how you can contribute me with my things, and how I can contribute you. So it's like a two-way street, you know. And so many times I see, especially now because I'm conscious about it, I see how people are actually really just like selling, or just coming in like kind of talking about themselves, me, and then not even listening, you know. Maybe that person has a key or a gem or a fortune for them, you know. And as Brendan was saying, if you connect with these people there, you know, it's basically in the room. You may actually be able to build like a, you know, $1 million business together. So, but how many people are actually taking it seriously? How many people actually are taking contact with those people? So I put down all the names of all the networking sessions we did, which was like 6 or 7 groups. I gave out, of course, all of my business cards. Some of them already have reached out to me. And I organize all of these people, because your network is your net worth. So if you want to build a bigger, you know, life, you have to build networks. So that's so crucial what Brendan, you know, said like that, and also reminding us, you know, how important it is to, you know, connect with people and, you know, create these connections. And if you look at also when actually Brendan got really big was when he started to, you know, connect with other big influencers and share their things, you know, and then also go create things together. So last year we went to an event Influencer where we had all these like crazy amazing people doing talks. Tom Burley, Rachel Hollis, Lewis Howell, Anthony Trucks, so many amazing people, Dean Graziosi and so on. So lots of inspiration, and then they also cross-network each other. And one really amazing thing which I saw, I recorded lots of, inner family feedbacks in Estonian right now. And the most watched video was the one which was actually the person who I did it with, and posted it on her Facebook timeline, shared about the program, gave also good feedback to me and about her process. And that's the one which has been actually watched the most, and that's also where a couple of new people were signing up. So that's the power of cross-networking, that's the power of Facebook, and that's the power what many people don't actually use. So that's something for you to think and process. So if this, what I was sharing, was inspiring for you, give me a thumbs up. If you have more questions, let me know. Brendan's next live event is actually, he's going to do high performance coaching, which is, I think, in Huntington Beach in May. This is like a high exclusive program, $10,000, but will change your life. In the future, I will definitely also go through that program. And then next one will be influencer, I think, here in San Diego in October. So I would really recommend people to buy tickets for those, because he actually oftentimes sells these tickets out. And last year also 2,000 people, and it was like one of the most amazing live events I've ever been to. So really, really important. So these events are very important for me and also for Michael to grow, to network, to increase our net worth, get out of the house, give reflection, get some new ideas and inspiration and insights. And I also had some major insights and major patterning stuff like coming up, which I could then dissolve and work through, and also loads of ideas for our future programs and events as well. So really, really exciting stuff. So okay, so I have some of the questions here, and the first one is, what is the first thing which is taking us off from our own path? When I think there are, of course, loads of things, but one of the things which I think is kind of above the others is when we start to compare ourselves with others. And believe me, I have done it so many times. So when you get into that discouraged place and you start to like kind of go, the worst is when you go to like Instagram or Facebook and start to look at some other people who are maybe a little more successful or a little bigger than you, and then you start to compare yourself, and then of course you get more down, and it never works, it never will support. So it's really good to stop actually that and just realize that you are you, and you have your originality, you have your gifts, and you have your things you are here to do, and your life mission, which is very original. No one else has it that way. So you have to play it out, and all it takes is discipline and systems and structure to put in place, and then keep up with that. So very, very important, And one of the other things is also basically laziness, or you get too comfortable. So if you want to really grow all the time and don't lose your own path, it's so important that you actually train yourself to walk on the edges, because edges are the places where you grow the most. These are the places where you basically face yourself, you face your fears, you can actually expand, you can go deeper, you can go wider, and you will also realize what doesn't serve you anymore. So going to Brendan's event, I realized also where I have gotten too comfortable, where I need to ask for more help, and where I need to take more action. So, and this weekend I'm going to another event which is called Clients in Abundance, which is for coaches and consultants, which I won, which is in the value for like $3,000 or so, with VIP tickets, so really amazing. So I will share this prize with myself, with my inner family, and enjoy, and then of course implement more of those things which I get from there as well, so that I can scale and, you know, reach more people and help more people. So very, very important. So, and then the moment you stop trying to be like other people, then that moment is basically where you start to figure out more who you are, what is it you like, and, you know, what's your kind of, you know, handwriting or your way of creating. So many times also people have given me feedback, you know, Crystal, you could do, you know, videos this way or that way, and I also do quite oftentimes add, you know, adventure videos and so on, and believe me, I would like to do more adventure style of videos too, but it's very time consuming, and right now I have other, you know, priorities as well. For me, it's very important that I can, you know, have those little Facebook lives so that I can communicate with you and also help you, and also, you know, deliver some of the content which is very dear to my heart. So so I have to be true to myself and true to my priorities and choices, and this is also, if you do those things too, these will be really helpful for you. So I really recommend those things as well. Someone was asking also, why is it so difficult to receive help or even ask help? So this is because we oftentimes think that when I do that, I'm considered weak. And also when I'm asking for help, I actually go into that vulnerable space. And when you are in a vulnerable space, that means that actually your guard is down, which means that you can really receive on a really like deep level, and you are really afraid also to actually get hurt in that you know, situation. And then of course, if you are very afraid that you get hurt, then you may get hurt because you attract what you are most afraid of, you know. So, and then it is also very important in those situations to remember that we were not made to be or live or you know, create alone. We were created as many on this planet. So we were created here to actually, one of the main missions I think for each one of us is to actually learn how we can cooperate and co-create. And coming from Estonia, we are not really good with cooperation because for years, you know, we had like wars and different countries took over. So we are very skeptical about if anyone even like comes to offer, you know, help of any kind, because we never know what's their agenda and what do they actually want, you know. That skepticism and that energy I have really watched very closely as now living outside of Estonia, and also noticing that it doesn't serve me anymore. So I have to really let it go. I have to learn to trust, you know, life and people more. And even if I will get hurt again, my main problem is also that I really believe in people. So this will be my experience and my lesson, and then I have to move on from there. Luckily with time I have got better with, you know, reading people and sensing, and also now the energies will let me know if there is like lots of, you know, blockages, or like even here, you know, I've tried to like get together with someone and it never happened. So obviously my energy doesn't want me to waste my energy to that person, you know. So it's really, really cool. So If some of you who you are here have a question right now, please let me know. I have one more question, and then I will wrap up with a little exciting thing in the end. So today I took a little extra time. So how to involve more of the invisible world into our everyday life? And that's a really good question. I could do the whole Facebook Live about that one, because this is one of my favorite ones, So when I was struggling with this Facebook Live download video issue, I realized I was again doing it all by myself and alone. So then I tuned in, I took contact with actually something I call a tech angels, or also I took actually contact with my inner man, because inner man is connected to those kind of, energies. And I said, hey guys, I also need help with this. Like, can you guide me to a right website or right resource so I can figure this out? And I've wasted so much time. I need it now, And I just, clicked on one video and opened it up, and it guided me exactly to my step, and I figured it out and it worked. So it's really amazing how you can do that. Or oftentimes what I do when I am in a car, I'm driving, there are lots of traffic lights, I talk to my inner man, because he's the tech guy again, can you work like this, that every time I get to a traffic light it will turn green or stay green, so that I can cross the or the intersection? And 90% of the times it works, and especially if I'm a little in a hurry, as well. So if I want to create more flow, I invite my inner woman to work as, like water, to create flow. So there will be space in front of me, there will be ease, all of those things. So, and also the other day, Michael also had lost something, and I said, did you ask your inner woman? Because his thing was more connected to the inner woman. I was like, no, So you can activate, your inner family can help you so much in so many ways in every area of your life, it's really amazing. Just take from parking spots or whatever you need, very, very easy. And then of course you can just, when you go out, you can have an intention, my intention today is this. How can you, universe, give me feedback on that, It was so funny, one of those mornings I was kind of sleepy and wasn't in a really good mood. I think it was before Brendan's event, and it's lots of stuff I was processing and lots of stress and so on. And even though I really am very disciplined and really take care of what I put in, into my mind too, I had one of those low moments, and what was so funny, in front of me there was a car stopping with a number plate I, and then I think it was LUV, and then KAT, I love cat, or I love you cat, and many of you maybe know my previous name was Katlin, so it was kind of, message from the universe, I love you, even when you are in that low energy moment. And I wanted to take a picture, but the car got away from me. But, those are those little things, you can notice around in your surroundings. And you may think that this is a coincidence, but it's never a coincidence. It's your co-creation with the invisible world. And more you activate those invisible connections, more and more actually the invisible world will help you and create that ease, One of the things I also got reminded by Brendan during the event was something he said, force versus flow. And I have been this girl who has been really forceful for so many years and for so many things. I remember studying in Oslo University, I went to actually work out when I had fever. And it was really crazy. I was like, I have to work out, and I should have just taken time off and rest, But I was going and working out with my fever, it's no good, And funny enough, you know, my company name in Estonia is New Flow, you know. So I've learned over the years, you know, how to flow and how to bring that new flow all the time wherever I am and with me. And even this morning, you know, I had issues with sleeping last night, so the old me would have forced, you know, to go and still work out only 4 hours sleep, you know. And then I turned over to Michael and asked, like, what would you do, sleep or, you know, work out? And he said sleep. So I tried to sleep a little more. So, you know, and then had a walk instead. So really, really small things which make a huge difference. So yeah, so force versus flow. So very simple thing. So I see Malle Angel is here and Lea Reinsar. Aloha, thank you so much for being here. So now I'm going to test one little thing out, and this will be very exciting. And let's go through it, and you can help me as well with this. So will be very, very exciting to see how this comes out. So before I go into it, I want to also tell you all that, you know, I know so many people who want to start to, you know, perform or, you know, find their stage and start to do things and so on. And then they whine like, I don't have this and I don't have that and so on. And nowadays we all have completely free, you know, stages. Like this Facebook Live is my stage. This is something I use for experimenting. I record it, I share it, I put it into different formats, and I circulate it, and then I archive it, and then I also oftentimes I go through it so I can learn about, you know, certain things I can do better. So what didn't I like? What can I, you know, change? So I learn. I perform every week, and when I did my abundance challenge, I performed every day. And if you go to the 1st of January and then you go to the 31st of January video, you can see it's different because I practiced my muscle of performing. So even though I don't have the big stages yet, I do my little training, you know, maintaining the stage, you know, I have created here on Facebook, and then I share it on YouTube. So step by step, and even though maybe the numbers don't really show it yet, I do what is necessary from my side and don't give up. I do it, I have the consistency, and I keep, you know, stepping forward. So this is also stop excusing and put things in motion. Create your stage, whatever that is, and what's comfortable for you. If you're not comfortable on the video yet, you can start with blogging. This is how I started. For years I was blogging, you know, and now I wasn't very, you know, comfortable. I was actually, if you go back to the high school, I was the shyest girl in the room. And now think of like all the things I've done in my life and places I've performed and so on. So it comes with practice, and I so agree with Brendan Burchard on that as well. Some people say don't face your time with things which are your weaknesses, you know, let them be and ask other people to work for you on those. But if this skill is helping you to deliver your message better, you have to learn and practice and practice and practice, you know. So I so agree on that. So thank you for being here so I can practice and giving me also your feedback. If you have questions, if you have comments, please don't be shy. If you don't feel like putting them under here in the comments, you can do it also personally. Thank you so much. So when I started to really think, you know, what kind of people would I like to help or work with? So I realized that I really like to work with people who like really, you know, want to know more deeper, like who they are, you know, get really like turned on more, who kind of like think with their own head. You know, they don't just eat whatever, you know, projections the society gives or their neighbors give or their partner give. They actually take a moment to think like, what is this thing for me, you know? And also who are striving, who are consistent, who are actually really after the meaning and connection and like how to turn yourself on and live that vibrant life, and you know, love what you do, love who you are, and then also be loved as well. So very, very simple things. And I'm so glad that all of those things are actually coming to me more and more, because I'm also, you know, more kind of clear with my boundary settings. So I have also developed systems which actually don't allow the people who are not really matching with what works for me, even don't really find my orbit anymore. So this is really, you know, amazing, because one of the things I also noticed with Michael, he actually found another guy during the event who actually comes and helps Brendan, you know, every event. And he travels the world. He has lots of, you know, real estate, and Michael really likes him. And it's, if you want to create something big and want to take it to the next level, one of the things also is to actually work with people you like, because then you don't have any resistance. So this is also one of my maybe new things which I would like to have more in my life. So to work with people I like, and the people like me as well. So really important. So, and then now imagine a life where you wake up actually, and you are fully connected to your body. You feel you are a really true friend with your body, and you like as you are, and even if you're not perfect yet, you know that you are work in progress, and you do the best, and you're also sexually really, like, you know, connected and in connection with your sexual energy as well. You have a really amazing relationship with yourself and with everyone else in your life. You live in harmony and you emanate love every step of the way. And people want to be around you, they want to follow you, they want to have that yumminess you have, and you know, find that yumminess you have, because that's what, like, their presence brings out in you. Your life is in perfect order, your health is in perfect order, so you have reached pretty close to your weight you have been looking for quite a while. And you eat healthy, you sleep enough, you take care of your body, mind and spirit. And then you do every day what you are here to do. You fulfill your life missions, you do your talents, you know. You are so turned on the moment you open your eyes. It's actually, when you go to bed, you can't really, you're so excited, you almost like feel like, you know, sleeping is waste of time, because you want to continue with your projects or whatever you're doing. And on top of all of this, you know, you have more than enough abundance, not only in money form, but in all other forms. And you have figured out, you know, how to amplify, multiply it, how to help others, and there is no lack in your life. So imagine how would that life be. So you also have found your, you know, significant other, and you are really in a happy relationship, and everything is basically with ease and love and flow and harmony, and you are fully, like, turned on all the time. How would that be? Just try to think a little bit. And then now imagine the opposite of that. So you wake up, you look into the mirror and you're like, oh, I hate that person, you know, who's there, you know, and then you judge yourself because of your overweight or the way you look, or your hair is a mess or whatever, because you don't have enough money. Maybe, you know, you really look so much worse because of that, because you couldn't really take care of yourself. Then your sexuality is completely turned off. You don't feel like good relationship with yourself. No one really wants to be with you. You feel like whenever you go, it's like you are repellent. Everyone is like running away different directions, you know. And then your health is a mess. You don't sleep, you don't eat right, you know. You overweight. You have probably some other, you know, issues with your body, mind, spirit. And then you do the job you hate. Every day you just drag your, you know, feet going from one place to another. Your car is a wreck because you don't have enough money to buy a new one. And you, most of the time, also because your mindset is not right, you're in depression and feel bad and so on. And your bank account is really anorectic. There is almost nothing, and you have huge debts, and you know, you're always worried how you will figure things out and so on. So how would that feel? And how many of you are actually somewhat or a little bit still there? You know, it's a good question, right? And now think, going back to the first picture. So we go back to that first picture where everything was right and flowing and so on. What would that do to your, you know, children, to your partner, to your family and so on? If you're happy, you're sexually turned on, you have your body, mind, spirit straight, you know, you have the weight you want, you have the money to take care of you, you have published the book you wanted to do, you have done the movie you wanted to do, you have your own healing school or, you know, coaching business, whatever. Everything is going and coming to you with ease and flow and so on. How would that be for you, and how would that be for the family around you? Think of that. Like, what's the difference, you know? It's quite a different picture, right? So all of these things, like taking it all together. So if you like that beautiful picture of you know, being turned on with yourself, and all that beautiful picture which I just shared, and that really touched you, and you would like to be one of those people to turn into that person, all you need is basically to do those 12 weeks intensive coaching program with me. And I don't say that it will change overnight, but it will help you to build the foundation, what you need to do to activate your abundance wheel. So all of those things I was telling you about are actually segments of abundance wheel: sexuality, relationship, health, life mission, and the holistic abundance. So what would that life be if all of these things would be, you know, fully in action? Just a good question for you. And what would your life be for everyone around you? So I believe it would be very, very different. You would do different things, you would go to different places, and you would have a different experience, right? So, and I wouldn't be here today talking to you from San Diego, you know, Estonian girl from a little village. Maybe we had like 2,000 people, if that, you know, living there. And just being in that room together with 2,500 other people from all over the world, where Brendan asked, can you now stand up who you are from a little village of 1,500 to 2,000 people? And we were not too many. But when I stood up, I was like, wow, I from Sarevere have made it all the way to San Diego, living my dream with my beautiful king, my spirit mate husband, doing my dream job, you know, connected to my sexuality, having beautiful relationships, building more of my network, more and more all in balance with my body, mind, health, you know, and also doing more and more and figuring out more and more how to activate all of my life missions and creating also more abundance. So I am a proof this works, and as are many of the other people. So if you think that this would be something for you and I would be a person for you to guide you, let me know and we can talk more about the details. So thank you so much for this beautiful meeting. It was a little longer than usual, but I think very needed. And I also have a question here. I often have thought like, should I continue doing Facebook Lives in English as well? Because it seems it's quite few people I have. Like, would you like me to continue? If you would like me to continue in English, please leave a message. Otherwise, I will just continue doing just, videos which I record and then put up. And then, of course, that would take away the one-to-one communication, which is sad to lose. But in order to do and have a two-way communication, I would like to have also your input. So all kinds of comments, questions, support, whatever you have, please don't hesitate to share it with me. I'm so lucky to be here with you, and thank you for watching. Please share, please subscribe, and meet you next week. And next week's topic I actually decided that I will do about is commitment check-in. Commitment is one of the keys to mastery as well, and I will also connect it to also discipline, and also look at some of the commitments I have actually kept from not only at the beginning of this year, but also from earlier, and also throughout my life, like what have been the main biggest commitments which have got me to the places where I am today. So commitment check-in next Wednesday. So be online, and hope to see you there. Mahalo. May you have a beautiful day and week full of aloha. Mahalo.